Very interesting story for you, actually, now. Cuentame, it's an organization that advocates for immigrant rights. They released a video today, and what they're trying to do is fight for the rights of domestic workers. Particularly in California, cheap immigrant labor is abundant, it's easy to abuse, and now they have an advocacy group, because when you hear the stories in this video, you will be shocked to know the conditions under which so many people in this country work.
Prácticamente somos esclavos y propiedad de los empleadores. Nos miran como que si no valiéramos nada.
Es un abuso, que a uno lo traten como peor que un perro. Yo escucho muchas personas que cuentan que no les pagan lo correcto.
Yo fui víctima de un robo de salario.
Fue mi primer sueldo de $50 a la semana. $50.
Were you listening to that? She made $50 a week for full-time domestic labor. That very same worker said that she worked from 6 a.m. until midnight. $50 a week, and there's nobody to stand up for them. But right now, in the California Assembly, there's a bill called the California Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, and it's passed the Assembly. It's now sitting in the California Senate. And, you know, just to show you what would be in a bill like that, the kind of, benefits which you wouldn't even think they would have to work to afford people. Right here, 200,000 workers it would affect. They would get overtime pay, meal breaks, and time off. Man, it's progress, but it's shocking that people could treat people that way in 2012. With me now, though, is Axel Caballero. Axel is the founder of Cuentame, and thanks for being on the Young Turks again with us, Axel.
Thanks so much for having me on.
You know, looking at this story, it's something that I think, just gets oversight because it's not something that people think about all the time. And I can't, the notion that somebody works for, 18 hours a day and gets $50 a week it's really shocking.
And these stories are particularly the ones that are in the video, are emblematic of what's happening statewide and actually nationwide. There's a movement, a very strong movement at National Domestic Workers Alliance, who are really pushing very hard to provide for the infrastructure and the framework of real rights for individuals like the ones featured in the video, who really have stories of abuse, who really have these stories that really get to you because they're behind closed doors. They don't talk amongst each other. It is very easy to ignore this issue, and so that's why we're putting together this video and this mobilization.
And New York State did this, a similar thing in 2010. Now it moves to California. It's sitting in the California Senate. What now? Is it having trouble getting out of the Senate, or is it just in line with so many other bills?
Well, there's definitely very strong momentum right now, and that is this is the reason why we're pushing right now, because we need those signatures. We need people to knock on the doors, to sign the petitions that we have, to watch the video, to share it, because right now the pressure is mounting, and it will soon most likely pass the Senate floor, and Governor Brown will have it on his desk, and he needs to sign this bill.
Another question: who opposes it? I mean, are there people that are voting against something like this? Do they see it as an immigrant abuse bill? I mean, what is the kind of person that would oppose a bill like this?
Well, we would like to believe that it has widespread support, which it does, but there is a minority group, particularly health and service agencies and provider agencies, corporate agencies, for-profits that have put a lot of money that would impact, first and foremost, it impact their profits. Second, it would impact the way that they treat their workers, because it's affected. It's affected by this particular legislation. Those are the ones that are mainly putting this opposition, and that is very unfortunate, because what we believe is that this notion of protection of basic rights, it benefits everyone, including these agencies who will see the caregivers benefit by having better working conditions.
Yeah, that's what you would think. When you said that it was healthcare service suppliers, you would think that those are the people that would want to pay people well, because they'd want to be giving the good care, get the recommendations, get the business all the time. And when you hear that they're the ones that, man, how in the world could anybody stand up against a bill like this? It seems like a basic human, just good working conditions. What is the makeup? I mean, are you running into the opponents of illegal immigration in this country that are saying that why are we giving more rights to these people in the first place? I mean, is that part of the ugly side of the other side?
Well, yes, and what has to be understood, this is not necessarily an immigration bill. This is a worker rights bill. And it often gets confused that this is going to do widespread blanket protection to whoever needs it. But there's a specific case, and the basics are that everyone should have these worker right conditions. They're basic, as you mentioned. mentioned their fair wages. They're getting compensated for overtime work. Another provision that bill says that you have to sleep 8 hours. It seems so simple.
Yeah.
It seems so straightforward, but that is actually what's not happening.
It's not happening with me either, by the way. I'm not sleeping 8 hours. But no, I understand that all these basic rights need to be protected, and I thank Cuentame for doing the work of that. So Axel Caballero, thanks for coming back on the Young Turks, and thanks for fighting that fight. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.